So I'm noticing a lot of criticism being levied at Donald J. Trump, President-elect Donald J. Trump, as of this recording. And what else is new, right? But these specific ones are around how he used fake news and false claims in something like outright campaign messaging fraud in order to win votes. So these are claims around the Haitians in Springfield. I have a piece on this that I published in Human Events. If you want to look up the American migrant crisis, I wrote about this. I thought it was a pretty good piece. And that got me thinking how fact checking, if someone's fact checking you, you're doing it right. If they're trying to debunk you, you're doing something right. This all means you are over the target. So, what I would like you to think about today, and I think you can use this technique, is in order to be maximally persuasive, not interpersonally. This is not one-on-one persuasion. This is more like mass persuasion. This is in your communication that's one-to-many. One-to-one communication, you want to think and act like a hypnotist when you're talking to people. So hypnotists are not abrasive. They are not aggressive. They're not attacking. They're matching, pacing, and leading the person where that is that the relationship or the conversation needs to go. So one-on-one persuasion, like the videos I did on how to talk to liberals around the holiday season, that's an example of how to talk like a hypnotist to people, where it's not abrasive, it's not aggressive. It's inviting, and it is unifying ultimately, so that they can trust you and that you are confidant to them and that they can save face as you allow them and you empower them to change their beliefs to something that is more reasonable, something that is more reality based than your typical liberal mindset, which of course is not. It's a repudiation of reality. And this is why right-wing memes work in a way that left-wing memes don't. Right-wing memes are like a couple of lines of text, maybe even just a couple of words and a picture, and we instantly get it. We laugh, we share it. Left-wing memes are essays because it's socially constructed reality that is designed to convince you that what you see with your own eyes could not possibly be true. And all these other complicated factors that if you just considered them, then you would, it's a sort of a socially constructed reality that's focused on group consensus as opposed to, oh yeah, that's true, that checks out. So the tip for you today as a persuader is to, in mass persuasion, this is one-to-many. So I think this is your social media content. This is emails that you send out to your list, to your audience, your newsletters. This is speeches. This is interviews that you give. This is anything and everything that is one-to-many communication. Understand this. Remove all nuance. There's the thing called the NAXALT Fallacy. Not all X are like that. And when you say things like, women are X, people will say, well, not all women, not all women. Fact check, fact check, fact check. That is how you know you're winning. You want people to be doing that. You want people to be triggered into the NAXALT trap. You want to lay NAXALT traps. I noticed this when I had both Mary Sue threads 1 and 2 in 2022, December. In December 2024, I removed nuance from both of them. And I did that on purpose because I understood that it would be a NAXALT trap that people would simply fall into, fling themselves into, and then I would win attention. Attention is influence, as Michael Cernovich, the journalist and filmmaker, says. One way to get and keep attention is to remove nuance in your one-to-many communication. No hedging, no, well, in approximately this many cases. You simply say, for example, as Trump did, they're not sending their best. People freak out. We're building a wall, Mexico's paying for it. People freak out. Fact check, fact check, fact check. Promises made, promises kept. Fact check, fact check, fact check. No, 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 no. Look at all these times, right? Now, if you look at the actual follow through on the build the wall promise, there was a significant amount of border wall that was built, yes. And there was also Mexican military intervention to prevent migrants from crossing over in the United States, and they paid for that themselves. And there was a lot more involved in that. But the point is, when you remove nuance, you get tension because you sound, above all, confident. Confident people don't hedge. They don't talk about edge cases. They don't say, I'm not talking about all women. I'm specifically referring to this type, and it's okay if that's not you. And like you sound like a B word when you do that. Don't sound like a B word when you do that, especially if you're a male. You sound like a B word. Confident people don't sound like B words. They sound like C words. I've said too much. I'm going to end it here. Confidence means removal of nuance. Lay NAXALT traps and allow your enemies to fall into them and embarrass themselves.